Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. We had some sad news a couple days ago. We found out Rafael dos Anjos had to pull out of his scheduled fight against Islam Makashav at UFC 267 October 30th. And we were hoping to get a replacement opponent. Well, we finally have a replacement opponent. We are going to get Islam Makashev versus Dan Hooker at UFC 267. Dan Hooker's on short notice, quick turnaround. He fought at UFC 266 this past Saturday. Got a win over Nasrat. It was a decision win. Wasn't super impressive, but it is what it is. And he's currently ranked number 6. And Islam Makashev's currently ranked number 5. And guys, if you need a reason to subscribe to the channel, I did a video when RDA pulled out of the Islam Makashev fight a couple days ago. And I want you to check out this clip. This is what I said in the video. But honestly, my money goes on Dan Hooker. UFC 267, October 30th. I think we will see Islam Makashev versus Dan Hooker. So there you have it. Just a few days ago, I went through the entire lightweight division, and there was really only 3 options that made sense, and that was Beneil Dariush, Tony Ferguson, and Dan Hooker. Beneil Dariush said he didn't want to fight till late this year or early next year. I didn't think he was going to risk his number 3 spot stepping in on short notice to fight Islam Makashev. Tony Ferguson was another option, but I just thought, there's no way they make that fight with Tony Ferguson coming off of 3 losses. And then there was Dan Hooker, and I thought for sure, if Dan Hooker doesn't have any injuries from UFC 266, I thought for sure that Dan Hooker was going to step in and take this fight. And of course he did. There's been back and forth. There's a history between these two guys. When Islam Makashev wasn't even ranked and Dan Hooker was, Islam was calling him out. Dan Hooker was kind of saying, I don't want that fight. I'm not fighting that guy. Then all of a sudden, Islam Makashev, if you believe he deserved it or not, had a jump in the rankings, ends up ranked number 5 after beating Thiago Moises. All of a sudden, Dan Hooker wanted that fight. Obviously, it didn't come to fruition. Dan Hooker got Nasrat, who's not even ranked himself, gets a win over him, and now everything falls together where we get Dan Hooker versus Islam Makashev. And I know some people believe that Dan Hooker is a tougher test for Islam than RDA was, but I just disagree 100%. I like this fight. I don't necessarily love that Dan Hooker's coming off a performance just, a couple days ago. So he's going to do a quick turnaround, 4 weeks just about. But I believe that RDA would have been the tougher test. People are just so put off on RDA because he has, a bunch of losses in the last few fights. But look at the level of competition he's fighting, and he was fighting up at welterweight. He has losses to Colby Covington, Kamaru Usman. Give this guy a break. He's coming back down to lightweight. He's a former lightweight champion. He's super well-rounded, whether it be the striking, the cardio, the jiu-jitsu, the grappling. So I really wanted to see the Islam Makashev versus RDA fight. But obviously, it's not going to happen. It's a cursed fight. It's been scheduled 3 times. Each time, RDA pulled out twice, and now Islam Makashev pulled out once. So I don't know if we ever see this fight. And Islam Makashev gets a win over Dan Hooker just because of his connection to Khabib. His name is already bigger than it probably deserves to be. He potentially could get a title shot next. I don't know if he will. I think he should probably fight the winner of Michael Chandler versus Justin Gaethje. And then if he wins that fight, then we can see him get a title shot. And I would love the Charles Oliveira, Islam Makashev stylistic matchup. But Dan Hooker steps in. You got to respect him. I mean, who wants to fight Islam Makashev on a short notice? I don't know very many people who would. That's why I said I really didn't think Beneil Dariush was going to step in. And if Tony Ferguson would have stepped in, I would have cried just because that would have been the worst stylistic matchup for him. As far as my early prediction for this fight, I try to give you guys early predictions when I do these reaction videos. I am going to go with Islam Makashev because Islam's grappling is just so strong, so heavy. Dan Hooker has, he hasn't fought that many wrestlers, but he has been taken down and controlled a little bit. I believe Edson Barboza, who's primarily a striker, did it to him a little bit. So if Edson Barboza could do it to him, and I know that was a little bit ago, I think Islam Makashev can do it to him. And maybe I'm wrong. I think Dan Hooker's the far superior striker. I may change my mind when I do my full breakdown and prediction. Because honestly, if this stays on the feet, it's going to be a bad night for Islam Makashev. But I just don't believe it does. I think Islam's going to find a way to drag him to the ground and pound, beat him up, and maybe eventually submit him. Another thing that I want to be on the lookout for is Dan Hooker loves that knee straight up the middle. And, he can land that on Islam looking for a shot. Who knows if that'll actually happen or not. And the other thing is, Islam Makashev, for me, I understand the skills appear to be there. But the level of competition, I have to stay consistent. I'm complaining Sean O'Malley gets too much hype when the level of competition isn't there. It's the same thing with Islam Makashev. Who is the best fighter that Islam Makashev has beat to date? Who? That's what I'd like to know. He fought Thiago Moises, who was just barely in the rankings. So he beats a number 15 or 14 ranked guy in Thiago Moises, and he jumps all the way up to number 5. I arguably think his best win is against our man Sarukian, and that was a while ago. And Sarukian is still getting better every day and still a young prospect. So Dan Hooker is definitely the best fighter that Islam Makashev ever fought. Hopefully, we get a little bit better test after this, and if he passes that one, he wins that one, then we get a title shot. But I do not want to see Islam get a title shot with a win over Dan Hooker. Let me know what you guys think of this fight. Who are you predicting to win? Don't forget to like the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.